Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. He won't go down. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 24-yard line.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. First carry for the Boise State Bronco, Alexander Madison. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving him a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
Back to the ground. This time Cook. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Cousins. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Ready?
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. Now Osweiler. They'll run the screen with Carson. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. First down, Lions on a pickup of 13.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Chris Carson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
First down 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 32-yard line.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Push him back. Push him back. Check 37. Check 37. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. We got double. Hey, 382. Let's 50. New draw quarters.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So forget the 3 and out. The penalty makes this 1st and 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he's able to find Diggs. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 31-yard line.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A first run for the backup, Abdullah. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. 48.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth 1st half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides of this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. This is Carson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front. And it turned rush coming, and he's taken down. Everson Griffin. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
After the sack on first down, Osweiler, this complete to Lockett. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They'll get a couple of yards on the keeper.
Game. Plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I go ahead and punt the football myself.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. This is fielded inside the 5. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
At the 23-yard line.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. To throw on 2nd and 6. Cousins. He sets to fire deep. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. 77 yards as his guys are able to regain the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And out across midfield down to the 45. Give them 32 on the play.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great. Let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. Now this throw caught left side. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20.
Go! 50, plant, go! Here we go. Hey, let go! Let go!
They'll run on first down. Carson fighting through, and he's got space. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Chris Carson, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Prater for the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. Our first update now comes from Atlanta. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen. Where's your hot? Mike 50. Hey, come on out here, come get some. Come get some.
Cousins now. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. On third down, Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Osweiler. Can't find anyone, and down he goes. Osweiler sacked. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Good job.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Final play of the half. It's Osweiler. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Now it's Carson. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Ready up. They can't hang with us. Get it.
Play action. It's Osweiler. Looking in zone for Jones. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Ready? You got nothing in there. You got nothing.
From the gun, it's Osweiler. It's caught. Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 17-yard line.
And the Lions
ready?
first down.
Mike 54. Come on, boy. Ready?
From the red zone now, here's Osweiler on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Draw play. This is Carson. Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Out of the gun, it's Osweiler. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Jones, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys have now moved out in front. And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. This is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Four receivers to keep tabs on here. 3 of them to the right side on 2nd and 5. Now Cousins going deep for Diggs. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And they got the extra point, and we are all tied at 28. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the third quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half, tied after the first 2 drives of the third quarter, 1 for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
Ben Gideon in on the stop.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 2nd and 9, Osweiler. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Check 26, check 26.
They'll go option to the short side. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Coming to you, coming to you.
Give to Cook out of the gun. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
56. Come to my world. We want it. Come to my world.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson, and not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
4. Quarterback, don't get nervous, man. We ain't beginning to clear you up. Don't get nervous.
On 2nd and 9, Osweiler under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Hey, orbit.
3rd and long, it's Osweiler. Eluding the pressure right. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
At the 36-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They run it again with Cook. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. Give him 6 yards in the 1st down.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was. And getting there.
48-yard line.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Watch left, watch left.
On the ground, it's Cook. Ooh, a juke. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On the delay, this is Abdullah. Gets past one man. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The throw complete to Beebe. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Chad Beebe, his first touchdown on the year. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And they will take a 7-point lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Osweiler. And he whips that one incomplete there. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now it's Osweiler. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half. Incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Yeah, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him and keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll make it 2nd down. They'll look to throw. Everson Griffin in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. 2 huge plays there down the stretch. The sack on 2nd down. Now they force the incompletion. That's going to lead to a do-or-die 4th down.
And they look like they've got the confidence right now that no matter what gets thrown against them, whatever play gets run, they have the ability to shut it down. They are just brimming with it right now.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
You know, as a defensive guy, I don't normally do this, Brandon, but a tip of the cap to the offensive coordinator. Design quarterback run at this stage of the 4th quarter when I expected him to throw the ball, and he got a 1st down.
Yeah, trailing this stage of the 4th quarter. Picked up the 1st, stopped the clock, too.
Yeah, sometimes there's some guts in play calling when you go against the grain because you know.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Everson Griffin in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Mike, 55. Check 55. Hey, lock it. Switch. Kill. Fight.
Throwing now is Osweiler. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. Again, the offense will stay out there. They've converted once on this drive. What can they do here on 4th down? They're going on 4th down. It's Osweiler. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the Lions' 20-yard line.
It's our time. It's our time.
Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here.
A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and 13.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were really helped by their defense forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Vikings, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.